I'm Kavita Shanae, and today we're joined by Gary Newman, a member of Citizens for National Security, to tell us about a war that's going on in this country, a war that's happening right under our noses. Unfortunately, the soldiers and the casualties in this war, well, they're our children. Gary, thank you so much for joining us today. Tell us, what is Citizens for National Security, and what is this threat against our children?
Hi, Kavita. Citizens for National Security is a nonprofit, non-political research group. We are currently working on the threat of radical Islam in this country. We have uncovered an insidious and dangerous threat to our national security is occurring right under our noses, in our classrooms, inside our textbooks. Now, we are all familiar with the phrase war on terror. Well, terror is a weapon. It is being used by radical Islamists to create a global caliphate under Sharia law. What that is one global government where Islam is the only religion and the Quran is the only law. But terror is not the only weapon they're using. They've managed to pollute our textbooks with pro-Islamic content. This is more insidious than terrorism because it is under the radar. It is more dangerous than terrorism because they're winning.
So what you're saying is the textbooks currently being used in our classrooms contain inaccuracies? What has Citizens for National Security found?
We have found that these inaccuracies are designed to elevate Islam and denigrate Christianity, Judaism, and American values. Worse, they are deliberate.
That's unbelievable, Gary. Can you give us some specific examples?
Oh, sure. I'll give you two. I have here a quote from Houghton Mifflin text, World Cultures and Geography, page 209. Judaism, Christianity, and Islam all share common traits. Judaism is a story of exile. Christians believe Jesus is the promised Messiah. The Quran is the collection of God's revelations to Muhammad. So what do we learn from this? We learn that Judaism is a story. Christians can believe whatever they want, but the Quran contains God's revelations to Muhammad. Another one from the same text is on page 230. Sometime during the years 8 to 4 BC, a Jewish boy named Jesus was born in Bethlehem, a town in Palestine. Now, it's bad enough, Kavita, that the town of Palestine did not exist in those days. The word just wasn't there. That's bad enough, so it's factually incorrect. But let me ask you something. If Jesus was born in Palestine, what does that make him?
A Palestinian.
Our children, at least if they use this textbook, are being taught that Jesus was a Palestinian.
Please don't tell me that there's more.
Oh, lots more, lots and lots more. As a matter of fact, Citizens for National Security has produced a teacher's guide, which is the culmination of 2 years of research. It exposes over 250 distortions, half-truths, and lies from 26 textbooks designed to promote Islam. These texts are currently being used in our classrooms. If you'd like to see it for yourself, please go to our website, cfns.us. It is free of charge.
Who exactly would write such pro-Islamic falsehoods in our textbooks?
Good question. I have an example here. This is a textbook, Pearson's World History. It is currently being used in Florida, and it contains some extremely disturbing passages. Now, in the front of the book, they list their academic reviewers, that is, the people who are responsible for approving these disturbing passages. And there are two in this case, Susan Douglas and Shabir Mansouri. Now, Susan Douglas is an American convert to Islam. She is an apologist for Islamic terrorism. She is a member of the Muslim Brotherhood, and she's a former instructor at the Islamic Saudi Academy. I don't want to go into what that academy is, but it's not exactly a bastion of Americana. The second person responsible is a fellow named Shabir Mansouri. He is the founder and current CEO of two pro-Islamic political action groups, the Council on Islamic Education, the CIE, and the Institute for Religion and Civic Values, the IRCV. Its mission, according to Mr. Mansouri, is to create a bloodless revolution in America's classrooms. Those are his words. And by the way, he also wrote a 6-step guide on how to impose Islam in your public school system.
But Gary, why would publishers allow people with ties to terrorist groups write content for our children's textbooks? It doesn't make any sense.
It started in California, like most things in this country. The pro-Islamic political action groups like the CIE and the IRCV have managed to influence the selection of textbooks there. So think about it. First, they approve the content, then they influence the selection of the textbooks. The result? Pro-Islamic textbooks in our classrooms. By the way, this is not a California problem. It spread to Texas, then to Florida. Now the problem's gone national.
That is unbelievable and sad to hear. Is our government aware of this? And if so, are they doing anything about it?
I personally am not aware of any policy, directive, or any action on a national level.
Then what is Citizens for National Security doing about this? And have they had any success thus far in their efforts?
Well, as I said before, we are primarily a research group. Our first job was to expose it. We've done that. We are now beginning to gain some momentum. As far as I know, we are the only ones who have actually had some success. For example, due to our efforts, Pearson was actually forced to reprint thousands of this book, thousands of them, at their own expense. 2 other books. Houghton Mifflin's Patterns of Interaction has actually been rejected in Palm Beach County, and McGraw-Hill's World Geography and Cultures has corrected much of its content due to our efforts. These are huge victories because they set a precedent for the nation.
And that's great to hear. But are the middle and high school students really that influenced by this?
Well, Kavita, after all, they are the targets. Now, most of us are familiar with the term radicalized. Before you can become radicalized, you must be indoctrinated by someone or something. You never indoctrinate yourself. It can be a relative or a friend or an imam. It can be in a mosque, or it can be in an American public school using American textbooks. When you are taught that American values and traditions are unimportant, when your own religion is being denigrated, and you are taught that Muhammad is the messenger of God and God's revealed word is in the Quran, you are being indoctrinated. You are now a candidate to become radicalized. By the way, radicalized is code for terrorists. It's becoming very apparent that the plan is to make the next generation of terrorists homegrown.
Gary, what can we do about this?
Well, you can start by going to our website, CFNS.us. There, you'll find information that will help you become part of the solution. For example, we've composed a letter. You can send this letter to a state commissioner of education, a school board member, a principal, a teacher, or best, a state legislator. It's not nasty or threatening. Here's an excerpt. I am genuinely concerned about what is in our textbooks, and we will be reviewing what my child brings home from now on. We all have an interest in making sure religious or political agenda do not adversely affect our students' education. Now, if you really want to get serious, our efforts and our successes take time and they take money. We are a nonprofit 501c3 organization, and contributions are totally deductible. And of course, we need members. Please join us.
It's very important to get on board. Gary, do you have any final words for us?
Yes, thank you, Kavita. Folks, we are at war. The enemy, radical Islam. The stakes, our way of life, our future as a nation. The target, our children. The victims, our children. The weapons, misinformation and half-truths designed to glorify and legitimize radical Islam. As adults, they will have to make choices. And we are educating a generation who are being indoctrinated, who don't understand or appreciate what America is all about. The new terrorist will be homegrown and he will wear the face of the boy next door. And that boy will be educated in an American school using inaccurate American textbooks unless we do something about it. Remember, they are well organized, well funded, very bright, very patient, and very, very committed. And regardless of what you think of them, they are prepared to die for what they believe. We need your help and we need it now. We are also available to speak to your school board, civic or community group with more information. Go to our website, cfns.us. Please donate, contact us, join us and fight back. Thank you very much.